Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to the World We Want Philippines. This event is organized by the UNDP Youth Collab in the Philippines, co-led by the City Foundation. We are excited to have everyone on board. We hope that you are also excited with what we have in store for you today.
The UN calls on all sectors of society to mobilize for a decade of action on three levels: global action, local action, and more importantly, people action, including the youth and other stakeholders to generate an unstoppable movement pushing for the required transformations. We call on everyone everywhere to be part of this effort. Together we can keep the ambition and the promise of leaving no one behind.
It's quite crucial, really, that we hear your voice and we will listen to what you have to say. And it may include issues and priorities on the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, or perhaps it will be about your contributions to sustainable development. And we will then join you in your journey as we take in the future that you envision for humankind and the world.
And the way we look at young people is not just as beneficiaries of change, but we want to look at young people, myself included. I'm still part of the youth sector, as agents of change. So tayo mismo yung gagawa ng solusyon to help our communities, to make the communities better.
65% of the population of the region of Southeast Asia are under the age of 35. So our generation plays an outsized role in solving regional problems, in improving our communities. We are the current leaders of a lot of initiatives.
To ignore your strengths completely is such a waste, because you have so many amazing talents that only you can do, something that you're really good at. To ignore them would be such a waste of what was given to you. So what I'm advocating for you to get to your impact in 2030 is start thinking about your strengths, what you're really good at, and then pull from there.
Entrepreneurs are risk takers with imagination who seek to create or identify new business opportunities. Social entrepreneurs are those who do what entrepreneurs do while solving a social problem or an environmental issue.
Start looking at life, looking at ourselves through new lens. So this is what we call reframing. So reframing is actually a way of seeing and being. That being said, it's a practice. We don't walk out of this room in an hour and say, I know now how to reframe. Every moment when remembering self stores a memory, we need to reframe.
There is not just one consequence that climate change brings into our lives or into our communities. In fact, there are 35 million people affected by floods.
What's important is pushing on collectively, pushing on as a group. Yung pagtaya mo ay isang malaking bagay na para sa misyong ito, lalo na sa espasyong ito na wala masyadong mataya. Kailangan namin ng talento mo so that we can work on together and make No Child Left Behind a little more possible for the next generations.
We need to change things on how we do things. I believe that we need to be more sustainable and inclusive in the way we do things. Kasi we know already that it doesn't work before, and this time, itong pandemic na ito yung time na yun to parang siyang reset, diba? Hindi nga yung sinasabi ng mga tao ngayon, parang yung pandemic, parang a time to really think about how we want the world after this.
So just to remember that your journey connects to the beginning of another person's journey as a change leader. And I think for me, as I was looking at this as well, so it's really not linear, because maybe we should never leave the discovery and inspiration part of your journey. Maybe there's always space to keep learning and keep discovering new things.
Education liberates the intellect, unlocks the imagination, and is fundamental for self-respect. It is the key to prosperity and open world of opportunities, making it possible for each of us to contribute to a progressive, healthy society. Learning benefits every human being and should be available to all.
I'll just leave you with 5 general advise, number one, at this point in time, for the survival of our nation, for the future of our country, we have to fight COVID, we have to fight corruption, we have to fight poverty, we have to fight for our future with good policies, and we have to fight for continuous reforms in government so we'll have good governance.
I'm calling on everyone to not turn a blind eye what is happening around you. Makialam kayo. Patuloy kayong makialam. Now more than ever, we need your active participation to reshape this country's future. Your future. You have the power to make it happen.
Thinking about the next 5 to 10 years, select the 3 trends that you are most hopeful about. All right? In the next 5 to 10 years, you are most hopeful about good governance. You are also most hopeful about post-COVID recovery, which is something that we are really hoping for.
On behalf of UNDP, City Foundation, Youth Collab team in the Philippines and all over the Asia-Pacific region, and of course our many community partners, super thank you everyone for joining us.